Well, it was such a lovely sunny day on Thursday, we decided to take ourselves up to Yeadon Tarn, which is not too far away, and have a walk round. We often come up here and have a walk, and sometimes we'll call at the local fish shop, which is Murgatroyd's, and get some of their lovely fish and chips. There was quite a few people walking up and down around the town, and the odd jogger, and the joggers usually do quite a few circuits of the town. One complete circuit is approximately 1.15 kilometres. I myself sometimes have a brisk walk around the town, and I go around probably 3 or 4 times, while Elizabeth parks up her mobility scooter and just enjoys the view while I come back. Now, Yeadon Tarns is about 9 miles north from Leeds City, and just off the A658 along Victoria Avenue. The site is about 46 acres in total, and there's plenty of areas where you can explore. And if you follow the circular route around the lake, like I mentioned, you'd be walking approximately 1.15 kilometres. Now, the lake origins are thought to be natural, but I believe at one time they were used, the waters were used for industrial purposes. And just round the corner, you've got Yeadon Town Centre. There's quite a few shops there for anybody wanting to look for some retail therapy. And just across from the lake is the Leeds Bradford Airport, where you can watch aircraft taking off and landing as you walk around the lake. And there's also a playground for their little kiddies to enjoy. And there's also some toilets, but on this particular day they weren't open. And usually when the weather's fine and warm, there's always an ice cream van parked up near the area where the children play. The Leeds Sailing and Activity Centre, they offer quite a few water sport activities. Some activities available being windsurfing, sailing, canoeing, kayaking, and paddleboarding. But there's one activity, unfortunately, which is not allowed, and that is swimming in the lake. If you've got your own kayak or boat, canoe or whatever, you're allowed on the tarn, but you've got to book with an instructor first to make sure you're competent paddler and have certification of any courses you've been on. They're pretty strict up here. I mean, your craft will be inspected to make sure that it is safe to use, and there is also a launch fee of £6.50, which increases depending on how long you are in the water. You can also hire wetsuits and buoyancy aids if you do not have your own. Now, fishing is a big thing at Yeadon Tarn. There's lots of different species, which include perch, roach, beam, trench, and carp. I know when we've been walking round in the summertime, some of the anglers there bringing out some of these fish. Some of the carp are enormous. I'm not an angler myself, but I must admit, I'm very impressed with some of the fish that's being pulled out of this lake. A few people wonder what does tarn mean. Now, according to the Discover Leeds site, they say that this was a Christian settlement in Airedale between 675 and 725 AD. Now, Viking settlers call the highest point in the area Yeadon Hall. The word hall likely comes from the Old Norse word haug, which also means hill. Tarn means small mountain lake or pool. meaning Yeadon Tarn translated to water on the hill. And Yeadon's on quite a high hill. I mean, the airport itself, the Leeds Bradford Airport, I believe is the highest airport in England. Now, when the Domesday Book was compiled, Yeadon, Horsforth and Rawdon were classified as land owned by the king, who then was William the Conqueror. Now, the lake was naturally occurring, and later it was enlarged for industrial purposes, as I mentioned earlier, and also for leisure use. It can be seen as being referred to as a fish pond on old maps. In 1925, Yeadon Urban District Council bought the dam from Messrs D. Waterwart for a local solicitor for £2,400. The Yeadon Tarn Sailing Club, that was founded in 1928 with the rules that all boats would cost a maximum of £20 and must be built within 30 miles of Yeadon. These rules were changed 6 years later to allow more pricey boats. Apparently, even then, £20 didn't go far. In 1940, during the Second World War, it was drained to prevent enemy aircraft from using its reflection as a landmark to identify the nearby Avro factory, which built Lancasters, and it was then refilled in 1945. A lot of people don't know that at Yeadon, Avro built a huge amount of Lancaster bombers, and it was so carefully camouflaged were the works that the German aircraft could never find it. It was never bombed. It was never detected by the Germans at all throughout the war, and escaped any bombing, which is just as well, really, because the amount of Lancasters which were lost during the Second World War over Germany were constantly needed to be replaced. During the warmer weather, and especially the summer months, the town's quite busy with sailboats and kayaks and canoes, and it's quite interesting to see the different types of craft which are out on the lake. Well, after you've enjoyed a walk around the lake, if you fancy anything to eat, well, there's Murgatroyd's just at the opposite side of the lake, where the crossroads are, well known for their fish and chips. As you can tell, the access to the place is quite easy for wheelchairs and prams, pushchairs and mobility scooters. It's quite easy to get around. There's some a tree down here due to some strong winds up at this area. Some of these trees are leaning at an alarming angle as well. And it was quite windy on this day. Very, very strong breeze, and it was absolutely bitterly cold. Couldn't believe how cold it was. Now we're just making our way up to the top end of the town now, and it's up here on the right where the toilets are and the children's play area. There's quite a lot of bird life on this lake, and if you're into ornithology, you'll be in your element. There's quite a variety of birds. I'm afraid I'm not right up on different kinds of bird species. It was a bit strange when we got round to the end of this little small jetty. There was somebody feeding the birds. There were quite a lot gathering, and as we got further on, reminded me of a film I saw years ago, a horror film made by Alfred Hitchcock. You'll probably have seen it or heard of it, The Birds. And when I got further on here, it was just like being in the scene from that movie. Unbelievable. Now we're making our way back to the other side of the lake using this walkway. We'll leave the Hitchcock birds behind. Directly opposite this view is the Leeds Bradford Airport runway. There in the distance. I believe this on the left is the Leeds sailing activity centre, and these buildings further on, I'm not too sure. Now we're approaching the opposite side of the lake. A small landing area there, full of birds. A general view of the opposite side, and there you can see the walkway linking the far side of the lake. There is quite a few swans on this lake, especially when you come in the summertime. There seems to be even more. Another of the guides for the lake. We're just now going to make our way down to the car park. Seems to be a little bit more sheltered on this side of the lake. The the wind is not quite as strong, but it's still bitterly cold. The one thing you can't use around the lake is bikes. They've banned bikes. Bikes are not allowed. But there is a free BMX track located next to the Cemetery Road car park. I would imagine the electric scooters are also not allowed to ride around the lake. Not too sure about that. There's quite a few of these little clearings around the lake, and these are for the anglers. It really is a nice place to have a walk around, and if you come in the summertime when everything's growing and flourishing and all the trees are in leaf, it really is a nice area. And there's areas where you can have picnics. There's picnic tables there, and in the summer it's always very busy. But it's well worth a visit, definitely. And it don't cost you anything. Well, now we're just taking a shortcut up to the car park, and that will conclude our walk and ride around Yeadon Tarn. I hope you found this of interest, and thanks for watching.